One Marina Gardens, the first development in the newly created Marina South neighbourhood right in the heart of Singapore. So what can we expect from this new neighbourhood? How is the development planned? And what are the potential launch prices? Let's dive in. Marina South is a brand new neighbourhood bordered by the downtown core to the west, Straits View to the south, and Marina East. It spans 45 hectares, which is about 1.3 times the size of the Singapore Sports Hub, and will accommodate up to 10,000 new homes. This neighbourhood will be wrapped by key landmarks like Gardens by the Bay World of Palms, Marina Barrage, and the Marina Coastal Park. 2 MRT stations along the Thomson East Coast Line will serve the area, Marina South and Gardens by the Bay. One Marina Gardens, marked here, is the first of 5 residential plots with commercial spaces on the first story, surrounded by various white sites. Currently, 2 other land plots, Marina Gardens Lane and a white site at Marina Gardens Crescent, are available under the government land sales reserve list for developers to bid on. Importantly, One Marina Gardens will be the only land plot with direct connectivity to Marina South's MRT via Exit 4, while the other 3 exits for the MRT station are located southwest. The remaining sites in yellow are reserve sites, which means that they are not zoned for a specific use yet and may take a longer time to develop, since they are not in the government's immediate plans. But what exactly are white sites, and how do they differ from your traditional residential land plots? White sites provide flexibility for developers to integrate multiple types of development based on the categories listed here. In the Marina Bay area, existing successful white sites include Marina One Residences and Resale, which feature a mix of residential and commercial spaces. For Marina South, the white sites could potentially add in future more residential units beyond the 5 residential land plots, larger commercial options for homeowners, or even hotels, service apartments, and other mixed-use spaces depending on the developer's plans. This flexibility means that the neighbourhood could develop into a well-balanced live-work-play environment. The entire Marina South neighbourhood is designed as a 10-minute district, where future residents will have easy access to daily necessities, hotels and offices, public transportation, and shops, and green spaces. Since it is being built from scratch, the government is also integrating car light and sustainability principles to ensure a future-proof, eco-friendly neighbourhood. So what are some of these key infrastructure highlights? First, there will be a pedestrian mall running parallel to the train tracks below, connecting Gardens by the Bay Station to Marina South Station. Expect covered walkways on both sides of the mall, providing pedestrians with all-weather protection. Underground, there will also be a pedestrian link along this 800 meters walkway connecting both MRT stations, which will also contain more amenities and lifestyle options for future homeowners to enjoy. Next, there will be an elevated landscape bridge connecting Gardens by the Bay to the Marina South Coastal Park. It will also serve to link multiple developments along Marina Grove. This walkway will be covered with lush landscaping, spaces for rest, and sheltered walkways will be provided throughout, making it easy for residents to gain access to green and commercial spaces within the neighbourhood. Now, towards the western corridor, you have Neighbourhood Street, which will offer essential amenities such as cafes, bakeries, convenience stores, laundromats, childcare centres, and clinics, providing all your daily necessities in one location. It is also good that this street is located along where all the residential land plots are, which mean that future homeowners will have less hassle getting their daily necessities. You can also expect multiple plaza and courtyard spaces around the neighbourhood as outdoor spaces catered towards activity and play. From dog walking to engaging in group exercises to kids' playgrounds, homeowners can enjoy outdoor activities at multiple locations within the neighbourhood. Bringing all of these elements together, One Marina Gardens is positioned in a prime yet serene spot in the neighbourhood, close to Neighbourhood Street, yet slightly apart from the pedestrian mall and the landscape bridge, which will likely attract more people and be the heart of the neighbourhood. Certain stacks along One Marina Gardens will also enjoy unblocked greenery view with Gardens by the Bay right next door. Now let's talk a bit about the developer. Kingsford development initially faced challenges with Kingsford Hillview Peak and Kingsford Water Bay. including fines for construction safety issues and poor workmanship. However, they have since successfully developed Normanton Park, which has become a landmark in the Kent Ridge One North area and also won multiple awards for build quality and design. Since then, Kingsford has also secured more projects from the Urban Redevelopment Authority, such as the Hill at One North and Chuan Park. This signals commitment to improve on construction quality and reputation. But let's also look at how they have priced their past developments during its launch phase. Kingsford Hillview Peak was first launched in April of 2013. It has sold about 19% of the units before the 2013 cooling measures. This was the toughest set of cooling measures introduced till date. Sales then dwindled before picking up only in 2015, with the developer lowering prices to clear the remaining units. However, the story with Kingsford Water Bay was slightly different. Given the 1,165 units, Kingsford launched the development conservatively at around $1,110 per square foot in March of 2015. They then gradually increased prices until the development was fully sold. The same story can also be seen for Normanton Park, with 1,862 units. Despite initial sales of around 33%, Kingsford cautiously increased prices, drawing from their prior lessons. For Hill at One North, we see that prices have indeed fluctuated and are on a decreasing trend for this smaller 142 units development. Lastly, with Chuan Park, with 916 units, we see a steady increase in prices since the strong sales at launch weekend. So it does seem that for larger developments, Kingsford takes a more cautious approach to pricing, perhaps as they might be more concerned with not being able to sell all of the units within the 5-year timeframe. So I would expect this as well for One Marina Gardens, given that it is not only a large development at 937 units, but it is also located in the central area, which generally has a slower take-up rate than suburban condos. Next, let's look at the development summary. The project is a 99-year leasehold from October of 2023. There will be one block containing 44 stories and a shorter block containing 30 stories, with a landscape deck, childcare centre, shops, restaurant, communal facilities, and basement car park, together with A&A works to the existing MRT entrance number 4 at Marina Gardens Lane. The land area is approximately 131,805 square feet, and there will be 937 residential units. You have 445 car park lots, including some that are ready for electrical vehicles. Expected date of vacant possession is in April of 2029. So one thing that I'll point out here is the density of the project. One way that we can measure density is using the land size divided by the total number of units. This gives us to approximately 140 square feet per unit. Now comparing this measure of density to some of the other mega developments, for example, Avenue South, which is about 229 square feet per unit, Normanton Park, which is about 367 square feet per unit, Park Clementis, which is about 431 square feet per unit, you can see that One Marina Gardens will be a more dense development. Now moving on to unit mix, you will have 1 to 4 bedroom units. For the variants with a study, you only have the 2-bed plus study, and also there are no 2-bed 1-bath units in the development. What this means is that you can expect a large jump between the 1-bedroom and the 2-bedroom units. Just taking the largest 1-bedroom at 452 square feet and the smallest 2-bedroom unit at 646 square feet, and assuming that it is priced at $3,000 per square foot, the gap would already be around $582,000. There is also a 3-bedroom dual-key unit for investors and multi-generation families to consider as well. And there is only one stack of the 4-bedroom unit, which is at 1,647 square feet. Overall, the unit mix is skewed towards the smaller 1 and 2 bedders, taking up 70% of the units, compared to the larger 3 and 4 bedrooms. This gives us an indication of the target audience of the developer. Lesser on families and more on singles, dual income couples with no kids, and potentially retirees. The majority of units are the 2 bedders, which are mostly dumbbell layouts apart from one stack which has both bedrooms to one side. The 2 plus study unit has only one layout, which I will talk more in a subsequent slide. Moving on to the site plan, your main entrance is along Marina Gardens Lane. Gardens by the Bay on this map is located from the northwest to the northeast direction, which means that these units will get an unblocked greenery view. However, for these units on Block 5, it would likely not be a permanent view given that future land plots in front are also zoned as residential developments. You have car parks on Level 1, Basement 1 and Basement 2, and commercial shops will be located on Level 1 of Block 3, including the MRT entrance to Marina South. Within the development, facilities will start on the landscape deck at Level 2, where you get your 50 meters lap pool, clubhouse, lawn areas, kids area, as well as function rooms. In Block 5, you have 2 sky terraces, one on Level 14 and one on Level 34, with lounge facilities and outdoor gardens where you can relax and unwind. On the top level of each block, you also have terraces and a viewing deck. On Level 31 of Block 3, you also have a couple of function rooms, while the Sky Gym is located on Level 45 of Block 5. However, there won't be any tennis courts, and I don't see any barbecue pits, at least in this picture. So moving on to the site plan, your 1-bedrooms will be located in stacks 2, 6, 7, 8, 16, 20, and 23. Because of how the blocks are arranged, you can see that stacks 20, 16, 6, and 2 will be considered as corner 1-bedroom units, which is quite rare given that most of the 1-bedroom units are in the middle stack. Your 2-bedroom units are located in blue. In Block 3, stacks 1, 4, 9, 10, 13, 14, and in Block 5, you have 15, 18, 21, 22, 26, and 27. All of them will be in the middle stacks, but stacks 18 and 4 will be the best with future-proofed and unblocked views of Garden by the Bay. Your 3-bedrooms will all be corner units, and you have 1 stack of the 4-bedroom on stack 19. So I want to talk a bit about a couple of layouts. For the first one, I'll focus on one of the smaller unit sizes, the 2-bedroom plus study, at stack 18. Typically, 2 plus study units take a longer time to sell because they are a size in between the 2-bedder and the 3-bedder unit. Homeowners prefer to purchase either a 2 or a 3-bedroom unit. However, this 2 plus study unit is 678 square feet in size, which means that it is comparable to some of the other 2-bedrooms, making it a good choice for someone with the same budget but who needs a separate study area. Moreover, Stack 18 has unblocked views of Gardens by the Bay, and it will not be disrupted, unlike the stacks which face future residential land plots in front of them. The other 2-bedroom with this view is Stack 4. However, it has a home shelter inside, which might not be as favourable as the study. Within the unit, you get a dumbbell-shaped layout, with both bedrooms being able to fit at least a queen-size bed. The walls along bedroom 2 as well as the master are a different shade, indicating that it could be hackable. This allows you to configure a larger living if you don't require the second bedroom. You also get an L-shaped kitchen, and because the development is harmonized, the aircon ledge does not form part of your total unit size. Next, let's take a look at the 4-bedroom layout. You get 1,647 square feet, which is quite large, especially given that it is also harmonized. There is a separation between the wet and dry kitchen, with a glass panel here for your wet kitchen. I would have wished for the yard area to be bigger, especially since larger units would typically have a live-in helper. There is also a home shelter, but I would have preferred it to be placed at the back of the kitchen since the swing door would almost take up your entire walkway when it is opened. Coming into the unit, you have a squarish living, dining, and a wide frontage balcony, which will likely be the heart of the unit, overlooking Gardens by the Bay. There are 3 bathrooms, and a 4th if you include the WC. All the 4 bedrooms can fit at least a queen, and the junior master has its own ensuite bathroom attached. However, all of the bathrooms are practical and rather small. You don't get any bathtubs or dual vanity. Your master bedroom is huge, and you will get a dual frontage view looking towards Gardens by the Bay. The wardrobes for the master and the junior master are also quite large. Glass panels and windows around the unit also ensure that you get ample natural light coming in. So the walls along bedroom 3 and 4, as well as the wardrobe wall over here between the junior master and the master are a different shade, which indicates that they could be hackable, allowing you to configure the unit. For now, views along these 2 bedrooms will be unblocked into Gardens by the Bay, but in future when the other residential land plots are built, this could be obstructed. The entire unit's aircon ledge is also tucked into the corner of the unit. At this price tag, however, some buyers would have expected a private lift, especially for the larger unit sizes, given that some of the outside central region projects are already giving it. Now let's move on to the developer's break-even price. The white site at Marina Gardens Crescent, which is just beside One Marina Gardens, was bidded in February of 2024 at $984 per square foot per plot issue, 30% lower than the $1,402 won by Kingsford for One Marina Gardens. However, it was not awarded because the government considered this bid to be too low. This implies two things. The first is that other developers might be less bullish on this area. However, the other is that the government has no intentions to consider bids that are lower than what they consider as fair market value. Since then, this plot has been moved to the reserve list together with Marina Gardens Lane Plot 2, released by the government. What this also means is that even if the two land plots were bidded and accepted tomorrow, it could take at least until Q3 or Q4 of 2026 to see another new development in the Marina South area. At the time of this recording, we already have some starting from prices from the developer. The one-bedroom unit will start from 1.16x, the two-bedroom 1.80x, the three-bedroom 2.45x, and the four-bedroom unit from $4.45x million. So this works out to a starting from price of about $2,786 per square foot for the one bedder, $2,801 per square foot for the smaller two-bedroom unit, $2,721 per square foot for your three-bed compact unit, and about $2,707 per square foot for your four-bedroom unit. However, given the number of floors in the development, expect a much higher average per square foot transacted, especially on the higher floors. So since there are no comparisons within the Marina South neighbourhood, I took Marina One Residences as a comparison to provide a benchmark on transactions in the area. For the unit sizes at One Marina Gardens, I've used the largest units to compare. From a per square foot perspective, Marina One Residences will seem much cheaper as the unit sizes are generally larger, although it is debatable on whether the layouts are as efficient as One Marina Gardens. Given the larger floor plates at Marina One Residences, One Marina Gardens will generally require a lower budget, even if it surpasses the 3.1 thousand per square foot mark. So this suggests that the development is a more affordable option for buyers looking into the area. Moreover, the Marina South neighbourhood will be newer and better planned compared to the existing Marina Bay area. Be prepared, however, for higher floor units to be transacting at more than $3,200 per square foot, given that it is a rather tall development. So it's not easy to anticipate how the developer will price their price jump per floor, since this is the first development in the neighbourhood. However, what I have done is to guess the per floor price jump for Block 5 on launch day, separating it between the Gardens by the Bay facing units, the inward facing units, as well as the outward facing units. So I've assumed that the outward facing units and the Gardens by the Bay units will have the same per floor price jump, since your outward facing stacks have an unblocked view for now as well, while your inward facing stacks will be slightly cheaper. Beyond level 34, I've also assumed that the per floor price jump will slightly decrease, since the difference in view beyond a certain floor will not be as obvious. Also, given the higher budget requirements as well as supply in the central region, I've also taken a more conservative per floor price jump, assuming that developers would want to sell at least 30% of units on launch day. Putting all of this information together, here is my estimated price matrix on launch day for Block 5. The top level should be around 3.4 thousand to 3.5 thousand per square foot for the larger units and the one bedroom, while two bedroom units could hit $3,600 to $3,700 per square foot. A comfortable budget for the two bedroom would be around $2.45 million, as it gives you ample options to choose from. If you're looking at the larger three bedroom, a comfortable budget would be around $3.3 million, so that you have more options. And for the one bedroom units, you'll need about $1.45 million in order to have more options. So in summary, One Marina Gardens offer home buyers to be the first to enter into a newly and well-planned neighbourhood in central Singapore, with Gardens by the Bay and Marina Barrage as landmarks within your neighbourhood. However, some concerns remain. A lack of schools, an issue generally for developments in the central area, will continue to be a problem for families. It will also take some time for local home buyers to accept living in the Marina Bay area, and also for amenities in the neighbourhood to be developed. But comparing the development to the existing developments within the Marina Bay area, Marina South as a neighbourhood and One Marina Gardens as a development are promising. Harmonization also ensures that every square feet that you purchase is for livable area, and the budget required to enter into One Marina Gardens is lower relative to the existing developments within Marina Bay. This is great for retirees, dual income with no kids, and singles, who do not have the same school concerns as families do. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like and subscribe so that I will know to produce more content like this. If you're looking for your next property and need more information, you can also contact me below. See you in the next one.